Hi there. So week 1 assignment 3 is designed to build on that which you learned in week 1 assignment 2, the properties of color being hue, value, and saturation. This is a project that's going to really focus in on value and saturation. And it's built around what's called a monochromatic color harmony. Monochromatic means one color. So if you have a monochromatic color scheme, that doesn't mean that you're limited to a very short amount of possibilities for the design. This assignment shows you that you're actually capable of creating many different tints, tones, and shades to apply to a monochromatic design. Tints are a color that it's when you add white to a hue. Shades are when you add black to a hue, and tones are when you add gray to a hue. So tones relate specifically to saturation. Shades and tints relate specifically to value. So we're going to do the same thing that we did in week 1 assignment 2. Let's start out with a bright color. You want to put that color in the first position in each one of your intervals. Because this is monochromatic, you want to use the same one hue for each one of your intervals. Now tints, that's when you add white to a hue. So we're going to show a progression of value going to white. So you want to put white in your final position. Now let's step. And there we have our first interval. Shades are when you add black to a hue. So we're going to put black as our final step. Again, remember that you want to click off of your scales in between each interval so that you don't have anything highlighted. And now create our blend. Tones progressing to a lighter value. So tones are when you add gray to a hue. So there are many different varieties of gray. So let's pick out a gray that is lighter, that has a value that's inherently lighter than the orange that we began with. I want to open up one of my other palettes. I want to do my basic RGB. Let's select something like such. And now create the blend. Now tones progressing to a darker value, so you want something that's inherently darker than the parent hue. Like that. Now create our blend. And now tones maintaining a constant value. So the challenge with this interval is to find a gray that isn't lighter or darker than your parent hue. This might take some playing around, which is fine. Let's try this. It looks too dark to me. And there's our blend. So you can see with this final interval, it doesn't look like it gets darker or lighter. It just looks like the color becomes more washed out as it moves across the interval. So again, this is a monochromatic color harmony, and the way you apply this to design is if you have a monochromatic composition, you can select any of these 50 different tints, tones, or shades that we've created to apply to your design.